All right, here we are at finishing up on our coffee cup. So it is right out of the refrigerator at this point, and we've got our coffee cup logo. We printed that onto our edible images again. And this one, if you remember we talked about earlier, we always have the option of sticking our edible images on another piece of fondant or directly onto the object. In this case, it is small enough and delicate enough that I think it's going to be better if we put it directly on to our cake. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna put that on. Okay, now my cake had a little bit of condensation going from the refrigerator, so I didn't have to wet anything. But keep in mind, if everything was dry where you're at, we would just need a little bit of water on the cup, not on the edible image, on the cup, and then we would paste that edible image on. All right, let's put some coffee in our cup. Now, for the coffee, for any sort of beverages, you've really got two options. We can do fondant, we can do, well, three options. We can do fondant, we can do buttercream, or we can do ganache. I think I'm going to try for fondant, but what I want to do first is get it on the cake board. All right, so let's get our cup, got our edible image on. Let's get it placed onto our board here. Now remember, this is the front of our cake, so we want the front of our cup to be facing this way. Okay, so front is that direction. Okay, I'm gonna put down a little bit of buttercream. You can put down ganache here, whichever is easier for you. And I'm gonna come down here, remember, because we made our cup on a separate little board. So now we gotta pop that board off. So this is where my support's gonna come in handy. I'm gonna hold onto the board and I'm just gonna tilt and it's gonna pop right up and off for us. Okay. Now I'm just setting it down onto our board. I'm gonna try not to touch it. I'm gonna, okay, let's see. Okay, so let's try that again. All right, so I'm just gonna set it right down onto my board, trying to get it nice and centered. Okay, let's spin it around up front and make sure our logo is nice and centered. I'd like to scooch it over just a tiny bit. Okay, let's see how we are now. Okay, I like that. I'm just going to push it down slightly so we're nice and adhered. Okay, but then we're going to go for some assurance. All right, so remember we have a dowel inside of this straw right here, okay? So I'm going to countersink this dowel all the way into our bass drum. Okay, so first of all, since I'm going to be hammering, let's scooch our bass drum on top. Okay, so we're not just running the risk of anything falling over. I'm going to get a nice firm hold right there. Okay, and I'm just counter sinking that dowel right in. Okay, so now our cup is nice and on our board. All right, now that we've got our cup nice and secured, we're going to come in with our fondant and we're going to make a little bit of coffee. Okay, so again, if you were rolling, go ahead and roll right now. I'm going to use my sheeter. Okay, and I'm going to get it fairly close to the size I need it. Okay, so we're pretty good right here. Okay, and you can see I'm just going to start working it to this edge. Okay, so I'm paying close attention here, okay, to this white edge. Okay, if you get some wrinkles and things like we've got here, it's fine. It's a cup of coffee. It's liquid. It's flowing. It's not gonna be completely flat. Okay, so now we're all the way to the edge here. Okay, on our cup, all the way to the edge, all the way around. Okay. All right, now we're gonna make this shiny. And to do that, I'm gonna use Karo syrup. Karo syrup's not going, well, it's not going to open. There we go. Karo syrup's not going to work in all situations. Obviously, if we were doing something that was vertical on a cake, okay, so this way, and not horizontal, a vertical application of corn syrups not really going to work. It's too liquidy. Okay, it's just going to flow right down your cake. But a horizontal application is perfect. It also works really well to highlight wetness. If you were doing, say, like Barbie's pool party or something along those lines, this is a really great way to make water look wet when you use fondant. And now this is going to look like liquid. It's going to look flowing inside our cup. Okay, all of a sudden it's going to look like coffee. Okay, so I've just got a little area right here that just didn't fill in all the way. There we go. All right, we're going to make a little bit of foam here on our coffee. I'm not crazy about how one colored it is. Okay, so right here I've just got some of our brown airbrush, a little bit of white, and a tad bit more corn syrup. Okay, now all right, see how this is kind of lacing up on us? Like that. Let's try to encourage that to happen some more. I think I've got a little bit too much on here. So let's see if we can just get off. Whoops, we will have to wipe that edge down. All right, now let's see. We can just come in here and kind of paint this a little bit. Just kind of taking some of the excess off. I don't want to create a situation where anything drips on me. All right, so let's see. We can just paint this all around, and we're going to try to encourage that sort of bubble effect that we had. Oh, there it is. See, it's starting to come up. Okay, I like that. Oh, okay. See, I like this. I like this kind of bubbling that's happening. That's making our coffee look a little bit less one color. Okay, I like that.